Imagine the electric energy of a stadium filled with fans. The way cheers ripple through the crowd and, for a moment, everyone feels united in a common cause. This phenomenon has a name in psychology: collective effervescence. Coined by sociologist Emil Durkheim, it describes the almost mystical sense of connection people experience when immersed in a group that shares their focus, beliefs, or emotions. Whether it's the thrill of a concert, the fervor of a political rally, or the solemnity of a religious ritual, collective effervescence can be profoundly uplifting. It makes us feel larger than ourselves, part of something grand and purposeful. But while this feeling can be exhilarating and deeply meaningful, it's not always benign. The same psychological forces that bring people together in joy can also drive them into dangerous territory. The collective euphoria behind patriotism or religious gatherings can easily become the driving force behind cults or riots. When we're swept up in the energy of the group, our individual critical thinking often takes a back seat. We find ourselves agreeing with ideas, chanting slogans, or participating in activities we might not have considered on our own. The hive mind is powerful, and it doesn't always distinguish between constructive and destructive causes. Layered onto this is another psychological quirk: confirmation bias. Our brains are wired to seek out information that supports what we already believe, and to dismiss or ignore evidence that contradicts those beliefs. This isn't just a minor flaw, it's a pervasive filter that shapes the way we interpret the world. When we're part of a group, and especially when we're feeling the rush of collective effervescence, our confirmation bias can intensify. We become more resistant to outside perspectives and more convinced that our group's ideas are not only correct, but righteous. Then there's the bandwagon effect. The more we see an idea repeated, whether in advertisements, social media, or political speeches, the more likely we are to accept it as true. This is why advertisers pay so much for repeated exposure, even if the ad itself is uninspired. It's why politicians craft simple, catchy slogans and repeat them at every opportunity. The sheer frequency with which we encounter a message makes us more likely to trust it, to adopt it, and to spread it ourselves. These psychological tendencies, collective effervescence, confirmation bias, and the bandwagon effect, work together to shape our beliefs and behaviors, often without our conscious awareness. They make us susceptible to the influence of charismatic leaders, viral ideas, and persuasive marketing. When combined, they create a potent force that can sweep through societies, uniting people in shared purpose, but also blinding them to alternative viewpoints or inconvenient truths. To make matters more complicated, there's a psychological and social phenomenon known as obscurantism, the deliberate hiding or complicating of truths to keep people in the dark. Whether through convoluted language, misinformation, or the suppression of dissent, those in positions of power sometimes exploit our psychological vulnerabilities to maintain control. When our natural tendencies to trust familiar messages, align with groups, and ignore contradictory evidence are manipulated, we become easy targets for exploitation. Recognizing these patterns is the first step towards safeguarding our autonomy. It's important to realize that our minds, while powerful, are not infallible. We are all vulnerable to these psychological effects, no matter how rational or independent we believe ourselves to be. By staying curious, seeking out diverse perspectives, and questioning our own assumptions, we can begin to counteract these biases. In a world where manipulation is a constant threat, knowledge truly is power, and self-awareness is our most valuable defense.